Well, it's the same handball again that they denied Real Madrid against Betis the other day. Seriously, man, you can catch them so quickly. Quickly. I mean, there's one of those actions where you know they're robbing you, but they justify it with that no thing. It's not that far away. They say the arm is in a natural position and he's not making himself bigger. It's in a natural position. The arm, all that crap they tell you, and then it happens. Just like that. Then 2 days later, like yesterday's match with Bayern, which was even less of a handball because it was a rebound, because it was a cross into the box, not a shot. And then, well, anyway, they sell it to you in another way, saying he brings his arm from back to front. I don't know. And here, it's the same thing. He's blocking a shot. The arm is just as far away from the rest of the Arsenal player's body as it was the other day with the Betis player. They're already telling you, I don't know, whatever. Now, let's look at an example, that of Pavel Fernandez, who is the most shameless of all the refereeing analysts in Spanish football. Let's talk about Atleti, a little thing about Kroos at Real Madrid, and bring back the intro since we haven't played it in a while. It's just that I discovered a little button that you press right here and it plays. It just plays. I mean, lately I haven't played it because then I had to edit it. But now, hey, every day we're improving, just like with the thumbnails. There are people telling me, look how good they're turning out now. Hey, Geppetto, it's amazing. I chat with Geppetto and he does everything for me. I mean, but still, the original idea is yours, right? You have to know what to ask for. And we're there with artificial intelligence, with the art of prompts, because people say, no, artificial intelligence does everything for you. Yeah, sure, but you have to make good prompts. And that's what we're working on. All right, well, that's it. The referee said it was a penalty. Well, the referee didn't see it on the field. And then, of course, they called him from the VAR. Of course, like the other day when they didn't call the referee, right? Because who was there? González Fuertes. Well, just look, this is really, really funny. By the way, a guy with a knife, in the Calderón, in the Metropolitano, a guy with a knife. Well, of course, it's just that the same people who did really bad things in the Calderón are now in the Metropolitano. Nothing ever changed there. Now, this man is making a sandwich. Okay, you might say, hey, he didn't look like a public danger or anything. No, he's just making a sandwich there, ham sandwiches. TV cameras catch him, but he's holding a knife. But who lets a guy with a knife into a stadium? Please, if they let this man in, then who's next? Making sandwiches, who knows, maybe for a Nazi, since there are some there. I'm not saying all of them, not at all, but, there's a group and so on. Well, if they let this guy in, then, right, it's just that I'm the sandwich guy. Oh, go ahead, says the security guy at the door. Oh, well, since he's the sandwich guy, of course. The other guy could say the same thing to you, the crazy one on duty, since there are several there. And anyway, and we have a mess. Anyway, we've already seen them go in there and do some really nasty things in a derby and all that. Nobody learns their lesson over there. It's always they're the people's team. They've got the best fans in Spain. Since we can't understand it, well, that's it. We can't understand how a guy can come in with a knife, no matter how nice this man is, making sandwiches here for people. But anyway, if we go back to the penalty thing, well, of course, it's just that I'm getting worked up here. The referee missed this one. He said it wasn't. And let's see, it's one of those penalties that shouldn't be called as such, right? For me, it's just the new football. If there's even the slightest contact and the referee calls it, we saw this in an Atleti-Barça match. When they took away the card, a straight red for Gerard Martin, people from Atleti complained. But how could they have called him over? A referee who already called something that isn't such a blatant or outrageous mistake. Well, this is the same. Hey, there's contact. The referee saw a penalty. He saw a penalty. Unless there's no contact at all. In that case, if there's no contact at all, I see. It's normal for them to call him and say, he didn't even touch him, man, but he does touch him. Is it enough to make him fall? Well, maybe not. I still think that in this kind of situation, no. But as the frame shows here, the photo is always a bit misleading, okay? But if there's contact, there's contact. The referee saw it. So what's the VAR doing calling? And what are they doing distracting him? You know what would have happened if this was Madrid, right? With the handball, with that exact handball, we saw it the other day. Anyway, well, the thing is that Atleti, even with help, Because look, they're complaining about the penalty on Jokers. Let's see. The penalty on Jokers is just like the one on Benatia. Lucas Vasquez. A guy comes from behind, hasn't won the position, and knocks the other down, even if the other tries to make space and leans back. He's well within his rights. The ball is right in front of him. Do you really think he'll just fall on it when he gets it? No, he needs the ball ahead of him to create space to shoot or move forward before shooting. It's normal for a player to lean back slightly. The other guy just runs into him. The Atleti guys are saying that's not a penalty. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable anyway. Let's go with Pavel's thing. Here's Cristiano's right away. Well, Pavel's thing is wonderful. This shameless guy, the other day he said, Madrid complains. Just look at the three interpretations. I use this example because it's the most blatant, the three interpretations from this guy. Real Madrid claims a penalty. Brahim took a shot which hit Ricardo Rodriguez's arm. Careful. Let's see. Careful. The thing about language is not a coincidence. I mean, language is extremely important, and it's the foundation of everything when it comes to creating stories and narratives. It bounces, the ball, it bounces off Ricardo Rodriguez's hand, off his arm. At the moment of impact, the arm is already relatively tucked in and close to the body. It's not a penalty. Relatively, what does relatively mean? Whatever I feel like saying, I mean, it's separated, yes, but relatively. Okay, fine. Yesterday's penalty for PSG. Davis extends his left arm, making himself bigger and interrupting a cross into the box. The Swiss referee doesn't see it live and has to be assisted by Carlos Del Cerro Grande from the VAR. It's a penalty. Of course, what did he block? A cross into the box. Before, it used to be a shot on goal. We were always told that it's about shots on goal, not crosses into the box, unless the movement is absolutely unnatural. Here, Davis is turning around and he's, let's see, it's one of those penalties that I wouldn't like to see called in modern football, but if you consider Brahim's and so on, then this one too, because it's also true that he's raising his arm a bit and it's true that he's turning around. But it hits him on the thigh, my friend. Honestly, I don't feel qualified to judge this. I mean, it could go either way here because it actually hits Davis between the thigh and the stomach. Well, we talked about it yesterday, right? But this guy sees it very clearly here. He sees it very clearly. Hey, of course, today's penalty for Atleti. Ben White blocks a shot on goal by Marcos Llorente with his left arm clearly away from his body. Clearly away from the body. The Dutch referee is caught out of position and doesn't spot it in real time, and it's a penalty, clearly away from the body. Careful. Earlier we said the ball, this shameless guy was saying, the ball hits Ricardo Rodriguez's arm, and here it's Ben White who blocks a shot on goal from Marcos Llorente with his left arm. But of course, in one case it hits, in the other it blocks, of course. And look, clearly separated from the body. Clearly separated from the body. Let's see where he had it. Hold on. This man didn't think the arm was clearly separated from the body here. He says it was relatively close. Notice the language, how twisted it is. If it's used for that, well, to twist everything around. And here the arm is even less separated from the knee and the body than the Betis players. This guy tells you, as he literally said, his arm clearly separated from his body. That's crazy, huh? That's crazy. Anyway, well, that's it. 1-1. I don't think Atleti is getting out of here alive, huh? At the Emirates, Atleti won't try to dominate unless, well, we've seen them pull off surprises like this before. Remember, in the year of COVID, well, a day before everything shut down all over the world, they won in Liverpool, remember? They've also pulled things off against Chelsea and Bayern Munich in those semifinals before Madrid beat them and won their 10th European Cup. But that only happens when Madrid reaches the final. Otherwise, I think they go out at the Emirates. I think so. I really do. I think Atleti played a better second half than the first, but I see Arsenal as a team, even though they're not doing as well now, but I see them as a solid team, especially compared to Atleti. I mean, I don't think they'll get a positive result there. Not a chance. In any case, maybe it could go to extra time or something with a draw and all that. But if it goes to penalties, well, it's clear what happens to Atleti with penalties. All right, two more things. About Kroos. Well, okay, let's talk about Cristiano first because that was incredible, huh? Cristiano's 970th career goal, but it's amazing because he tells Joao Felix, put it right here. He tells him, put it right here. It was the last few minutes. Well, minute 75. With this, he's pretty much won the league with Al Nasser. He tells him here, 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 here. Okay. The ball goes into the box, man, and you can see Cristiano here, but I can't show the goal. Right in front of the goalkeeper, man. But also, how does he place it so it doesn't go too high? I mean, just the right touch so that boom, there it is. Fantastic Don Cristiano Ronaldo at 41 years old already, 970 goals. He's going to play in his 6th World Cup, 6, 10, 14, 18, 20, 22, damn, 6, 10, 14, 28, 14, 18, 22, 2, 6. I mean, his 6th World Cup, man. That's crazy, huh? That's crazy. Well, what about someone who made the decision at the same age Cristiano left Madrid? Because he left Madrid in 2018, that was already 8 years ago. Cristiano left Madrid when he was 32 or 33, right? Well, Toni Kroos retired at that age, man. Incredible. Well, today the news is from Mario Cortegana. He published it in The Athletic. This is the official tweet from The Athletic, but let's read it in Spanish. Real Madrid is in talks for him to return to the club with a new role and key responsibilities. The club wants Kroos to be part of the club's sporting setup, something similar to what they did at the beginning with Zidane. It's true Zidane, at first as an advisor or counselor to Florentino, then as Ancelotti's assistant coach, and later as head coach. And well, the rest is history, right? Madrid sees the German as a very valuable asset when it comes to making decisions about squad planning, representing the club, and as a day-to-day liaison with the players. Look, like someone said earlier on Twitter, which I liked, hey, if they give Toni Kroos the keys to Madrid, it's like giving him the keys to my house. I mean, let him decide, please, let him come in. Well, if they tell us he's going to be the sporting director, I would like that. I would love what Maroto was saying the other day on Ramon's channel about teaming up with Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp as head coach, of course. Kroos as assistant coach. And so, well, he can start learning for the future and eventually become the coach of Real Madrid, good old Toni Kroos. I love that. But this also blows my mind. We'd have to see who the coach is, of course. Who could be the one to go up to Florentino and say, hey, let me handle it? Remember when we discussed that figure who might be Benzema? Wherever he aims, Benzema hits the target. He's still playing football. And about Toni Kroos with this sabbatical year that well, actually it's 2 now, right? He's already on his 2nd non-sabbatical year. He's with his school in Madrid and all that for kids, his academy and all, but I think it's the right time for him to join the club and bring some sense to many decisions there. And if he can even go down to the locker room and be there, not to mention being the assistant coach, that would be wonderful. Let me know in the comments what you think. If this is being talked about, if Mario Cortegana is reporting it, who I think usually has good information, even though some of you might say in the comments, no, because of whatever, that he's an Atleti guy, whatever you want, pero suele tener buena information. I think that's the way things might go. And besides, it makes perfect sense. Come on, Florentino's just waiting to be able to bring Toni Kroos in after already giving him his space for 2 years and all that. I really think they're going after it. I hope it happens. Well, see you in the next one. Hope everything goes well for you. Give it a like if you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to the channel, comment, share, and have a good night. Bye.